let's go if I can. The United States news outlets are calling the general election of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris as a disaster. The president and the vice president, they're in a world of political pain. A USA Today poll shows Biden's approval has sunk to just 38%. Harris is even worse. She's down to 28%. I don't think I've seen numbers this bad so early in a first term. They're not the dynamic duo, are they?
Oh, no, I got to tell you one thing, though. In retrospect, the Biden camp were very clever in selecting Kamala Harris as his VP, because if there was anyone even remotely half competent, they would be a threat to Joe Biden right now, because he is struggling. He is just every week showing us that he's not up to the job. The cognitive decline is undeniable. It's there every time you hear him speak, every time you hear him questioned. He is not up to the task. And these poll numbers, despite the fact that the overwhelming majority of the media have given them cover, they really haven't held them accountable for the multiple crises occurring in the US, from the losing control of the southern border to the inflation crisis, to the fact that they've got more COVID deaths in 2021 than they had in 2020, despite the fact that the Biden administration inherited 3 good vaccines. So it's a disaster, and the polls reflect it.
Stephen, just quickly.
Yeah, look, I couldn't agree more. I think since the pullout of Afghanistan, which was such a debacle, Biden has lost Virginia last week. If I was, a Democrat, I'd be starting to worry about their prospects in next year's midterms.
Midterms, agreed.
D&D presents the No BS Show. With your hosts, Chris Mize and Doug Dock. It's the No BS Show. Take it away, guys.
Start out coughing. How you doing out there, everybody? First off, I want to thank all our veterans. Hope all you guys had a good day on Thursday. We appreciate everything you do. I want to thank all our military serving overseas and homeland, trying to protect our freedoms. Want to thank first responders, police, fire, nurses, and doctors for everything you guys do. I was waiting for the music.
The what?
The opener last week. I love that.
Oh,
just so everybody knows, Ron Miller might watch this show once in a while. I know Scott don't. He don't get it. We played a bad trick on the Hammer Down Racing Report. It's funny, Doug. I got to tell somebody this story. So Scott Hammer asked me and Doug, hey, will you guys do a little tribute to the veterans? Record it, send it to us. So after our show on Tuesday, the Speedway show, we played a prank. We opened with that we opened with last week, and me and Doug started going into thank the veterans, and I flipped out, and every other word was F and and just to look at his face, because we had him on here offline. We had him on, was watching.
So we want you to review that, make sure that's exactly what you're looking for, and it was just look of, gosh, how am I going to tell these guys?
Yeah, a look of terror just through the song, and so the Braveheart. Anyways,
Braveheart.
Not much to talk about this week.
No. The thing is their poll numbers are declining.
No shit, Captain Obvious people out there.
Well, that came from Australia.
Well, I believe Australian news more than I believe ours.
There you go. So it must be true.
Honestly, I do believe it. I tell you what, though, something come out before I forget about it. I want to go into it real quick, Doug.
Yes.
What was it about 2 months ago, 3 months ago, 2 months ago? We were talking about Social Security.
Yes.
And someone come on and says, yes, we are getting a 6% raise this year.
And they are. Yes.
Yes, they are.
Correct.
And I popped off, and me and Doug both been saying, you watch, before it's over, they're going to get a 6% raise, but they're going to raise the Medicare prices and everything else so much that they're not going to get a raise. They're going to end up paying. Well, it just come out, I believe, Friday, wasn't it? Friday, CNN had it out.
Let me look
get
at
a pop-up
date here.
Lord forbid we're wrong.
12th.
The 12th, which would be yesterday.
Friday.
Friday, okay. Today's 14th?
Yes. All day.
Huh. Anyways. 14.5% increase in their Medicare expenses.
Yes. So here's so the standard premium for Part B will be $170.10 next year. They thought it was going to be at $158.50. Well, the way they got that is because their estimate of the jump was going to be 6.7%. So they gave the 6.6%. You were still going to be in the hole because it would have been raised on you anyhow.
0.6%, you'd have been in the hole.
Now they really got it. And
now they really fucked you. Right. I mean, I wasn't being funny when I said that. We knew it was going to happen.
Right.
This administration is not going to give you a raise without taking, and they're taking over double back. So if you get an $80 raise, they're taking your 80, and you're going to be paying them $90 to $100 extra on top of that.
Right. Yep.
But yet we're giving all this money to Afghan resettlement, the immigrations, illegal aliens coming across the border.
You know, as much as you pay in on taxes and everything else, you would think that when you became 65, the government's going to take care of your medical bills.
Oh,
no, that's not happening.
That's not happening. And I tell you what, I went to Wednesday. I went and listened to Blystone running for governor talk.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, he's got some good ideas. Unfortunately, the GOP in Ohio is not. He's like Bakita and Trump. They want no part of him. They don't like it because he's not a yes bitch to the GOP in Ohio. You know, and one thing he brought up, Doug, is if you've lived in your house a long time, you've paid your house off, and you turned 65, why should you have to keep paying property tax? I can't read what he said.
Rittenhouse is innocent. I have to work tonight to support the illegals Brandon is letting in.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to be allowed to say that on Instagram?
Twitter was looking at making that a hate crime.
A hate crime.
Yeah. So if you're at the track and you got a favorite driver named Brandon, you got to come up with something different than let's go.
Way to go, Brandon. Way to go. They are. They're seriously. And you know, here you got Dean Henry sent. I think it was Dean Henry sent me that, and I sent it to you. Brandon High School.
Yes. Yeah. Unfortunately,
so what do they do?
Can't download a lot of this stuff.
Yeah. What do they do?
They're going to have to come up with something. Let go, Brandon. Let go, Brandon.
Let go.
We'll be.
They're taking something. Here's our freedom of fucking speech going right out the window.
Yeah, and that's what I don't understand. People, I mean, we're all about it, but okay.
Oh, you shook up.
No, you had a good example of somebody that you know that didn't have a clue what was going on with a lot of stuff.
My brother.
Oh, your brother?
I'll tell him it was my brother. And honestly, he, no No one can cheer for Brandon Holcomb anymore at the racetrack.
Gotta come up with something different.
You know, here's
go, Brandon.
Here's the mentality is and I don't want to make light of something, Doug. And me and you, just so everybody knows, me and Doug haven't talked about what I'm about to say. Is I don't want to make light of something, but here we go. The numbers are popping back up. People are. If you notice, whenever this asshole is in a jam and he don't know what to do, the administration doesn't know what to do, the numbers flare up. Everybody worries about the numbers in the pandemic and COVID. Hence my brother. I started telling my brother, you know, EPA bill, this, the Afghanistan resettlement was snuck in, this, that. And he looked at me and he goes, you know, I'm stressed out enough in life. I don't need to know all this because then I get more stressed out and pissed off. And I'm like, you fucking need to know this.
Right.
This is what's going on.
Right.
This will affect you. When they come around and they pass all this shit they want to pass, and they got distribution of wealth in one of these bills, which sooner or later it's coming. Listen, distribution of wealth is coming if they can get their shit through and start passing their stuff through. It'll hit us. So when you got 500,000, which I don't, but you know he might. But you know my sister-in-law's a doctor of microbiology. My brother, he's a civil engineer. They do good. God bless them. They work for it though. But when, you know, that passes and Jim Bob down the street has 5,000 in a bank account, he's got 500. I'm not too sure they're going to like it when they look in the bank one day and they got to withdraw 250 grand because they wanted to, your neighbor needed some, right. You know, and that's what's coming. And you know, and it's a problem. It's a problem.
It is, and I've talked to people, and we'll start into it. And I know not to go. It's almost like talking religion to people. Some they'll talk to you all day about it, and some people will shut it off instantly. And a lot of these people, when you start talking about politics, they can't deal with it. No, I don't want to hear it.
I don't want to hear it. I don't care.
But we'll be all over the board today. But this I do want to touch on. He is busing everybody that they send to Florida. He's putting them on a bus and sending them to Delaware. The governor of Florida.
Good. I'm glad. So, you know, I'm gonna tell you what, Robbie, you got it made down there.
Oh yeah, you got the best governor.
Let me tell you what, you guys say all you want to say. Here's my running pick. Here's my dream team for 2024. DeSantis and Candace Owens. That's my dream pick.
So polar opposite of what we have now.
Right.
You gonna be okay?
I don't know, COVID. But you know, that's because listen, Candace Owens ain't about bullshit, man. She tells it straight up. She don't care. She tells it straight up. Right. You know, she calls it what it is. And a lot of the stuff that people don't want to talk about, you know, but deep down in their bedroom when they lay their head on the pillow, they're thinking about the race division that we got going on and Black Lives Matter and this, that, and the other. CRT training, SEL in Ohio. She don't play that game. She'll call it what it is, Doug. And you know, we need somebody like that in there, like DeSantis and Owens. You know, my brother told me they're not teaching CRT.
Not at all.
They're not teaching it in schools yet. And that's what they believe. Well, they're not teaching CRT in Ohio. If you ask school board member, we teaching CRT? No. They're not lying. Because they don't call it CRT in Ohio, Doug.
Right.
It's that SEL or whatever. They're teaching it.
Correct.
It's the most racial division thing that they could teach.
You're going to start me on the schools already.
Well, I'm just saying the schools are lying, and now did you see where they wrote a letter, National School Board, that we didn't mean to cause such a controversy. Yeah, you did, you son bitches. You're just now taking heat for it, because it's been through congressional hearings with Garland and all them. And now the politicians like Jim Jordan, Cruz, and them are calling the National School Board Association out. And I believe if you dig into it, some of them have to go testify in front of congressional and Senate hearings over this.
Right.
Now they want to say, oh, we're sorry we didn't. Yeah, you did. You meant to do what you wanted. They believe that you send your kid to school. Well, it's something you wanted to go into, wasn't it? If I send my kid to school, I give them almost like guardianship so many hours a day.
Pretty much.
That they can vaccinate my kid without my permission.
Okay.
So I'm being told. I'm asking a question. Let me rephrase that.
Yeah.
So I don't get in trouble.
So Tammy
says... Is this what they're wanting to do, Doug?
What?
They vaccinate our kids without our permission?
Yeah, they'll be able to do that.
I got to watch what I say. Tammy says what?
I haven't found it, but I heard there's something big on her husband, Candace Owens' husband.
Have you seen Candace Owens? I hope there's something big on him. Keep her happy. She's hot. They find something. Everybody's got a pass, though, Doug. I haven't heard that, Tammy. But
all right.
Everybody's got a past.
All right. Since you brought up schools, let's go over it. So in King's High School, and I don't know where these are, I'm just reading. King's High School, there's a digital signage that says all lives can't matter until Black lives do. These are children, students going to school to learn, and that's on their digital signage.
Why is that allowed? Yeah, let me just go into this. Yeah. Why is Black entertainment television allowed, but not white entertainment television? Why is there Black History Month and not, White Heritage Month? Why is there? Can we say all lives don't matter unless Black lives matter first? What about? Why can't we go around if we say white lives matter? And this is a fact, Doug. We said white lives matter, and we've gotten bashed for it.
The thing is this is what CRT is all about.
Oh, yeah, I know.
So in Cincinnati, they won't let parents opt out their kids from divisive subjects being taught in the classroom. So if you feel, you know what, I don't want my kid involved in all that stuff, you don't have that choice anymore.
You got a choice. Private schools.
Or your own.
Or homeschooling.
Loveland administrator attending a seminar on a deep dive into white supremacy culture.
Yeah, I'm not for white supremacy.
Well, he went to a seminar to learn about it. Is that all right?
Whatever. Our schools got to get taken back. Our country's got to get taken back. We got a president up there that mumbles one thing. It just shit after shit after shit. And then his administration comes on, like last week, his administration comes on the very next day and says, well, he basically don't know what he's talking about. Yeah, they are going to give money to the, I mean, here's the thing. Did you get that? I sent it to you.
What?
There's problems in a White House between
yes.
Kamala Cantila.
Yeah, Kamala Harris. She's losing. They're saying, her team's saying that they're making her look like a fool because they're giving her jobs that, how'd they put that, outside
mediocre
of
jobs.
that are outside of her,
Should be lower than her.
Yeah, it should be something that she can do.
Should be lower than her. It should be another aide or something doing. But the thing of it is, what job has she done? What has she done?
You didn't hear.
We put her in charge of the boy. Wait, hold on. We put her in charge of our border, and we can't control our border. But go ahead, Doug.
She does have an issue with the
Poland
border between Poland and Belarus, as thousands of Belarusian migrants have poured into the neighboring Poland. She is very upset about that. They need to get that stopped. We can't have that anymore. That has to stop.
No, we got to control it. 6,000 went across the border, and she threw a fit. Wasn't it 6,000 they sent across?
I don't know. I don't have a number here.
I thought it was 6,000 to 8,000 come across, and they started raising all the hell, and she jumped in. This has got to stop. You can't do this. And I'm thinking, you simple fucking bitch. They sent 18,000 Hondurans across our border, and you went after Border Patrol for trying to round them up.
Now, I thought she went down there too.
Where?
She went somewhere, and this is how this all came up. And she's
never been to Europe, you know that?
Yeah, I've heard.
I'll never forget that. You know, the simple whatever. She's pissed off. There's divisions in the White House. There was talk in this report that I read, Doug. Did you read that?
I want to find it again. Which way did you send it to me?
I can't remember now. It might have been text, but there's talks in this report that, you know, they come right out and half-ass admitted that they were hoping, you know, that she'd be groomed within a year and a half to take over as president, because they knew that he wouldn't make it over a year and a half. They know he's not going to run for a second term. They pretty much all but said that he won't be physically fit. He's not physically fit now.
True.
She's worried about the Poland border as thousands come across our border in the south. And she's not worried about that. It's a Poland. We're taking Social Security people. People on Social Security work their whole lives. They're drawing Medicare.
Right.
We're giving them a raise, and we're more than doubling that raise taken back for rising Medicare, but yet we're dumping $6.4 billion in a bill that should have never been in. That bill was just to keep the government going till next month. $6.4 billion for Afghan resettlement to take care of them. $83 million will never leave my head that we spent because we didn't want the illegals coming across the southern border to sleep in the cold bit. Remember that, Doug?
Right. Yep.
Now, we're not geniuses by any means, and just a couple of dumb hillbillies, but we called it 2.5 months ago, Doug. We called it. We says, you watch, they're going to give them a raise, but they're going to take it back. And what'd they do? They took it back and doubled it.
Yep.
You know, I mean, go back and look at what we were telling you last week and the 1.3 trillion infrastructure bill, and dissect what's in that infrastructure bill. 55 billion taken out that was supposed to go to our veteran VA hospitals for our veterans.
Right. Yep.
Taken out. They're like, fuck the veterans. You know, another 60 billion taken out where we could take, you know, kids could take care of their parents, the elderly that had dementia, Alzheimer's and stuff. Assistance for that. Taken out. Amtrak got theirs though, Doug. You know.
Yes, they did. We still can't figure that
1.3 trillion, 555 billion is actually for the roads and bridges. You figure it out. We're worried about the Poland border. Here's another one.
Yes.
Watch your gas prices keep going up. They didn't shut down the Michigan pipeline. They put a stop to it for a bit, Doug, while they did some research. And they're going to shut it down. That's what they said. We paused it. The black woman that took Peppermint Patty's place was drilled on it the other day.
Yeah.
We paused that because we got to do some searching on that, research on that, and this, that, and the other. You know, we got to talk to Canada on that. You know what? If I was Canada, I'd say, you know what? Fuck you. Our borders are closed for good. You guys go. Next time you guys want to go to somewhere that bombs you or some shit, you guys are on your own. Leave us alone. You know, we've alienated them.
Oh, yeah.
Our closest ally ever.
Yeah.
We've alienated them. So, yeah, the Michigan pipeline shut down.
Yeah, and she
Keystone
didn't have a
pipeline shut down.
She didn't have a very good answer on that.
Hmm?
She didn't have a very good answer.
She lied. I sent that to you, didn't I?
Yes.
I sent it.
So I don't know how you sent it because I, for some reason, just can't keep track of everything. But here's this White House person getting grilled again on, are we paying these immigrants? And then he brings up a really, really, really good point.
Thanks, Doreen. So your administration is negotiating cash payments for some illegal immigrants who were separated from family members under the last administration. Why give taxpayer money to people who broke federal law to get here?
You like this question, Peter.
It's
We talked about this yesterday.
But not to the heart of the point, which is that these people broke the law to come here, and they are going to get hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxpayer money.
A couple of things. I mean, I cannot speak to this from here. This is Department of Justice.
And we asked them, and they said no comment, so we have to ask you.
Well, and I'm telling you that this is in litigation, and so you have to talk to the Department of Justice about this. This is not something that I can speak from here on the particulars, on the specifics. But, you know, I said this to you yesterday, Peter. One of the things that we have to remember why we're in this place that we are today is because we had an administration that had an inhumane, immoral policy that was taking babies away from their families, from their mothers. That was the policy of the last administration. That is why we are here today, and that's you asking me this question that I actually cannot answer because you got to go to the Department of Justice to get the particulars. But just be clear, that's why this is happening today.
Okay, so Mitch McConnell and Chuck Grassley have written a letter to the Attorney General. They say that any settlements to illegal aliens because they violated the law are wrong. Does the president agree with that or disagree with that?
So yesterday I addressed and I clarified the president's comments on the thinking on this because you asked him a question and he answered it directly. But anything about the process, again, anything about the specifics or the particulars, I can't answer from here behind this podium, okay. So you would have to go to the Department of Justice.
Then to internal White House processes, when the ACLU heard the president dismiss the idea of $450,000 payments the other day, the ACLU came out and they said he may not have been fully briefed about the actions of his very own Justice Department. So is the president being kept out of the loop about immigration policymaking?
Again, Peter, the president was asked, you asked him a question, a direct question, he was answering it. I cannot say any more than that.
Okay, final one then. Yep. There is a long line to get into this country legally. Is there any kind of discussion about giving people who are coming here the right way money?
Why would we be giving people who are coming here the right way money?
Why are you giving people who came here the wrong way?
I mean, but I don't understand the question. What is you're saying that we should give people just money who are coming through? I don't understand the question.
You're giving people who immigrated here illegally money.
Like I said, that's the Department of Justice. You're going to have to ask them that question.
Okay, we'll ask again.
Okay.
I love that guy.
I do too. What?
So Doug, real quick, and then I'll shut up. She admitted Biden don't know what's going on with it.
and he alluded to that. Like, is he being kept out of the loop
You have
on
to
all
ask the
this?
Department of Justice.
Right.
Well, they're too worried about parents being domestic terrorists for protesting right now. So why? Let me ask this question. There's something, I don't know if any of you guys caught that. All right, Greg. Going through my favorite state, actually. Yeah, the one thing now I lost my train of thought. Oh, shit. Go ahead. I'll think about it.
Well, there's there's not much to say. He's right on. If I come over here legally, I get zip. I gotta get a job, but if I come over here illegally, I'm gonna get some money from the
If you were
government.
separated.
If I was separate, which I will, because I know that this is going to happen, so I'm going to separate. Honey, I'll catch up with you later. Go ahead.
Yeah, but here, what I was going to say is she hit something and nobody's catching. Nobody's caught. The past administration's policies on this is what very inhumane. Now, let's talk about that just for a second. How many times has to be said Donald Trump enforced the policies that were put in place during the Obama and Biden administration, Doug? He never changed any policies or laws on immigration. That dude from Homeland, Holman was his name, that used to run immigrations and Border Patrol. He testified to that in a congressional hearing that them laws were put in place by Obama and Biden administration. All Trump did was enforce the laws. So nobody catches that. I don't understand how that's not being brought up. Our president now was vice president when them laws were put in place. The Obama administration put the laws and all that in place. And all Trump did was allowed immigrations to enforce the laws. Right. And now they're blaming him when actually, if you really want to get to it, if there's such inhumane laws, it was the president of the United States. He was vice president, him and the Obama administration that put them in place. Do the research. He didn't put them in place. That administration did. And we're so dumb as a country. Well, you got people, I can't believe Trump would have done that. What, enforce the laws that right. The Obama and Biden administration put in?
Right.
Go do the research on it. They put them laws in there. They were the ones, if you go look, they're the ones that built the cages, Doug. They built the cages, not Trump. Trump didn't build them. He just enforced what laws were in place. What he actually did is let the immigrants do their job. Border Patrol do their jobs. He didn't handcuff them. And now they're going to blame him? Oh, you better go look at the bumbling idiot that's living in Pennsylvania Ave. He's one of the ones that was there when they put that in place. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Yes, and we're going to be giving them money.
Why would we give legals coming in? We don't want them to come in legally.
Right. That's not helping us.
They come in undocumented, then we can have them vote. That's part of the voter bill we're going to push through.
Right.
Am I wrong?
No, you don't know what they have them telling them. Okay, since you guys came in, now we're going to do this, but there's an election coming up, and
there's probably a contract. There's probably a contract. It says, okay, we're going to give you this 100, 200, whatever, 1,000, but you have to sign this contract that you're voting Democrat the rest of the way out, or you got to pay it back.
Let me get. There was something else about them.
But we're missing the whole point. We're missing a whole point here, and the whole point is this: is we tried to impeach Trump twice over some dumb shit. Okay, we tried to impeach Bill Clinton. In the famous line, I did not have sexual relations with that woman. and it was a lie, and we tried to impeach him. Biden comes straight out and told a lie. That's not going to happen. That's garbage. It's not going to happen. Then the very next day, they say, oh, it's happening. What? Now, everybody says, the inquiries. I got into this on a chat in a Facebook post. I'm telling you about it. If you take a look, one of the first things the Democratic Party did when they took over in January, Doug, on Trump, that if Trump went and took a shit, and he took a shit in a bathroom he normally doesn't use in the White House, he went outside, went in that bathroom. That back then, Democrats would call for an inquiry. Why is he taking a shit in there? What's he doing? Is they would have called for an inquiry on it. Then we would have had congressional hearings. You call for an inquiry on anything. Well, what Democrats did, and you guys research this, don't believe me. They started going in. First thing they started doing. Remember, I was bitching about this not long ago, Doug. They started taking out where you can't put in inquiries. You can't. They restrict the inquiries that you could put in. Well, they restrict it because they don't want us doing that on Biden with Hunter Biden. That's, one of the reasons why his laptop thing went away and the Ukraine deal went away. Right. Because you can't get in. And this is what Jim Jordan was talking about, where they've had inquiries into the Department of Justice for 5 months and haven't got, any response back. They took them out. They changed things that have been in place for hundreds of years. They changed it because they're trying some shady shit, and you can't ask for inquiries. It's hard to do it now. It's a fucking joke. It's a joke. We should have an inquiry right now going on, and it should go to congressional hearings about why President Biden said that's not going to happen. It's garbage. That will not happen. And the very next day, his press secretary comes on, his acting press secretary comes on and says, well, yeah, it's going to happen. The Department of Justice. Talk to them. Well, what litigation is that in, Doug? Nobody else asking that question, too. It's in litigation? What litigation? She said, well, it's all in litigation.
Right.
What litigation's it in?
Well, there's stuff going on that we don't know about.
Well, don't you think we should?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna bring one up for you.
What?
The immigrants that are detained in Tacoma, Washington,
are
owed $17 million in back pay. They're in prison. They were being paid $1 a day.
Are you kidding me?
Now, wait. Our prisoners in the U.S. that are actually citizens here, they make anywhere from 14 cents to $2 per hour.
I knew that.
Okay. So we're not going to take care of our own, but we will take care of the immigrants. Who came over here illegally.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, and this is the direction we're going. And people don't know it. People aren't aware of it. Just like, my brother, for example, I hope he ain't watching, or he's going to be
really pissed.
Be getting a phone call real quick, but, it's whatever. It's a fucking joke. It's a fucking joke.
So we're going to pay them more. We're going to pay them back pay now. 17, what was it? $1 million in back pay for just this one. The ones that are in Tacoma, Washington. That's the only ones. Now what?
Now what? We all vote in 22.
Gosh, I hope so.
That's the only shot we got. It's the only shot we got. Everybody's running wild, dude. And there's no transparency through this administration. None. We got the vice president and the president. I don't even think they're talking, Doug. And the only time they're talking is when he takes her flowers for her birthday, and that was just a big show for TV.
Oh, Joe.
Oh, Joe. I love you, Joe. What'd she say when he walked out? You son of a bitch. Probably threw the flowers in the trash can. You know,
Right.
you know.
I can't stand him.
Yeah, it's what it is, Joe. You know. Yeah, it's the illegals versus illegals. Who the hell would want to come over legally?
Exactly. That's kind of what we're doing.
Who would want to come over legally? You go up, you go to the border and you go to fill out your papers and shit, and you hear all this, and you look at the dude and say, "Never mind, I'm going back to Mexico. And I'll see you on the other side sooner or later, and I'm going to vote." It's. Yeah, he's the labor crisis. It's funny because when I got on a little later than normal, I knew Doug was on, but there was a show. I don't know if it's 60 Minutes or I think it's 60 Minutes. It's on tonight, and it was on, and it was going over our shipping problems. And what they were going over, they had guys there flying helicopters and looking. Is exactly what we said a couple weeks back, Doug. They can't get the containers off the docks. They can't get the containers off the docks. They're not taking them back to China.
Oh my gosh.
What used to take, one of the last things I just saw, what used to take 3 days to unload a container ship net is now taking 9 to 12 days because they have nowhere. They showed the trains backed up, everything. And Merry fucking Christmas. Here we are. Stop and think of this, everybody. That's going on. Now you got the numbers going up, and once again you got Dr. Fauci up there yapping his mouth about the holidays, Doug. He's already started on that. We gotta refrain from all getting together,
Mm-hmm.
and so we're gonna worry about. It's real simple. We're gonna worry about the holidays and what they're saying. Let's not all get together, and we're all gonna go up in arms about. Not being able to see, here we go again, and all this shit. And you watch what happens. There's going to be a couple bills pass through in the middle of the night. And in 3 months from now, when the hell did that pass? Am I wrong, Doug?
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Yeah. The sad part of it is Firelands went to it. Fisher Titus went to it. Tammy has a friend. I didn't hear from her, Tammy. 35 years at Fisher Titus, going to probably lose her job because she refuses to get the vaccine. Year and 5 months ago, they were calling her a hero. You know what I mean, Doug?
Right.
They're calling them people heroes. Now they're zeros.
Right. Yeah.
You
got it. Yeah. When we're all sitting there looking at each other, we'll go back to talking and being thankful for what you have.
Yeah. It's, I told Debbie that she ain't out here yet, so I can say this. I told her a while back, you better start Christmas shopping now,
Mm-hmm.
This, that, and the other. And I think a lot of it's done, but there's more to do. But, Black Friday, day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be empty Friday.
Yes, and let's see, when is Thanksgiving? Next week?
Is it next week?
Yeah, next Thursday, I think.
Are you sure? A week from this
Yeah.
Thursday?
Yeah.
Holy shit, are you kidding me? Sure is.
No. So there's a lot of places where you're thinking, yeah, another week.
Yeah, I thought it was 2 weeks from Thursday.
So a lot of places are now going to stay closed on Thanksgiving Day, and that's good. And a lot of them are opening basically normal hours on Friday because
They don't have it.
they don't have it. Yeah,
And
they'll
everybody's
open it.
saying, and you know what everybody's saying? They're going, well, look, Walmart's finally catching on. They're not going to work their people on Thursday, Thanksgiving, and they're,
Right.
this, that, oh, isn't that great? And bullshit. If Walmart had the fucking supplies in the truck sitting there with all the supplies, trust me,
Yep.
they'd be open all day, all night.
Yep.
They're doing it because they don't have the supply chain that they had.
Right.
And we're,
Right.
oh, isn't that great? Yeah, it's great.
Speaking of that, let me see if I can
can't wait
find
till February. I can't wait till February. Yep. When all these people that are getting the earned income credit now every month file their taxes, and that $10,000 check turns into $1,500, $1,200, they're going to shit their pants, and all of a sudden we're not going to have a work shortage anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Trust me. I mean, how can Biden say? How can he honestly say? And this is off his Facebook page, that the economy is so much better, and the building, we're building back America better. The workforce is stronger. The more money people have, they don't. It's an illusion.
Right.
The workforce is terrible. Terrible. You still have like some McDonald's, Taco Bell's, Burger King's. You still have some of these fast food places. They do not open inside. It's drive-through only. They don't have the help.
Right.
That Big Mac meal that cost you $7-8 last year, the number one, now it's up 10. It's going to be up to $15.
Yep.
You watch how much it goes up through the season, Christmas season, when you're all out there shopping. Let's stop at McDonald's, and three of you get a meal and it's $40. It's coming.
Yeah. We should have a live on Friday, and you guys can chime in and live with your cameras rolling so we can see the shelves.
Yeah, see the shelves. Little Junior wants a Play-Doh thing. Guess what? That's gone.
Mark Pukita posted a picture of a store that he goes to all the time, and their entire meat section is completely closed. There's not a single thing in it.
Why?
Well, he was trying to get that answer, but everybody was looking at him like, don't take pictures of that.
Well, I can tell you why. Our major meat packing plants in the United States that distribute, I don't know what percentage of our meat products, guess who they're owned by? Smithfield Meats is owned by the Chinese.
Huh.
Same with our pork. Now the executive producer come out.
Oh, hey, you missed us. There was a meet and greet with Mark Pukita. What am I saying?
Joe Blystone.
No, on October 6th in Milan.
Who? Pukita?
Yeah.
I didn't know nothing about it.
I didn't either.
Where was it at?
Avery Commerce Park, Unit C1.
Oh, that's where Joe's was. So, you go and look 3 months from now. 3 months ago, I mean. Go back 3.5 months, 4 months. Hamburger was about $3 $90 a pound, $3.80 a pound.
Mm-hmm.
What was it last week? $5.68 a pound.
Jesus.
$5.68. T-bone steaks. We're just at Sam's Club yesterday. But you know, the T-bone steaks at Sam's Club even. Whoa, 2 T-bone steaks, $30-$40. You know, it's out of hand. But guess who owns Smithfield Meats? Guess who controls a lot of the meat that we get? Chinese. And we won't do a thing about this.
No.
You want to straighten it out? Like I've been saying for 3 weeks. You want to straighten it out? Oh, you don't want to take containers back? Oh, you want to do this? Well, guess what? We got COVID too. Our grain and wheat chips got COVID. They won't be making the trip over. Stop it. Stop it. Just stop them. Why aren't we getting our food? Well, we got COVID. Backlog.
Right.
We need that grain and wheat because we got a meat shortage.
Right.
We got to feed our people. We don't eat bat. We don't eat bat.
Bat.
You ever see pictures of the Wuhan? Anybody out there ever see pictures of the Wuhan market?
No.
Go Google it. Google it up, people, and look at the Wuhan market and see what they're eating. Holy shit. Yeah. Well, McConnell Meat says that there's plenty of meat markets. The local meat markets got meat. The problem is, Joe, some of them prices are going up too. You go to Bay Meats in Sandusky, they quit selling packages last year. Remember that, Deb? But they quit selling packages because the prices were going up. People are bitching. What do you want them to do? You know, start hunting. Deer season's coming. Deer season's in for bow. Deer season comes up week after Thanksgiving. Start hunting. What are you looking like that for?
I'll bring it over here and show it since you asked us to look it up.
I'm going to start deer hunting again. I got room in the freezer for some deer meat, Doug.
Oh my gosh.
I do. What are you bringing? Yep, there it is.
That's where our meat's coming from.
That's in China, the Wuhan market. Every day. You ought to see some of the other pictures. We don't live like that here.
Them
are dogs. So you know. Them are dogs that we're hanging. Look it up. Recent. Next thing will be banned in China.
They put pictures of us.
No, seriously. Them are dogs. Google, them are dogs. I'm telling you right now, them are dogs. Google search Wuhan market in China and look at some of the pictures, but make sure you're close to the bathroom before you do, because some of the shit will make you want to puke. And you know, that's what we're going to, Doug. I'm telling you right now, if we don't straighten shit out in this country, vote is all I can tell you. Vote. The most important election. Yeah, cats and dogs. That's no shit. The most important election ever in your life, in your people's lives, ever, is 2022. There you go. Look at that.
What are those?
Are them the bats? Them are the bats.
What's in front of them?
Rats.
Oh,
bats
nice.
and rats. Yeah, isn't that beautiful?
That's, yeah.
Isn't that, how do you live like that? It's a common thing to them, I guess, you know. Hey, honey,
Right.
sit in a recliner. I'll be back with dinner. What you getting? I don't know. A couple cats. I want the bat.
Yeah. Bring me 2 rats
rat.
and a bat.
Yeah, bring me 2 rats and a bat, would you please?
Make sure they're well done.
Yeah, yeah. That's honestly.
All
If you go research that and Google that, you'll see that, people. And Lord forbid, they try to keep them pictures off. They try to keep put that picture up on Facebook and see how long it lasts. It don't last.
Oh my gosh! Now,
Marsh rabbit's a rat.
Just so you know, YouTube and Facebook are both really clamping down on information.
Well, they don't want us to know anything.
Well, correct.
And see, it's just like what I was saying. It's just like that lady at the race last Saturday. They didn't know. They don't know.
Right. Let me see.
And that's a Joe. Look, Joe, marsh rabbit. It's a rat. It's a rat. Marsh rabbits are called rat. Now, muskrat. That's what some of it, Joe. That's what the term muskrat is. They say it's that, but it's actually rats that they're feeding you. But muskrat is actually good. I know some of you are going, what the hell's wrong? I'm a hillbilly. Muskrat is actually good. If you trap muskrat, you can eat it. It's actually pretty good cooked right. No, it don't taste like chicken. But it's good. It's good meat. Beaver's good. We're all gonna have to learn this. Beaver, muskrat, rabbit. Yeah, we're all gonna have to go back to them days here if we don't vote in 22. All right, Doug, you had a couple other things you wanted to get into.
So
raccoon. You ever ate raccoon, Dean? Oh man. Give me a piece of leather. Hey.
Just one more thing about schools. And this is in Ohio, and this is in a classroom. And this is why I say that we need cameras in the classroom. This is what they're looking at all day long.
See, there's no place in school for that.
There isn't.
There's no place in school for that.
By the way, Dean Henry's on, and he's doing a pretzel. Spells out Ohio.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Is
you? Yeah, you'll have to get me one. Let me see if I can find a picture of it.
He brings up raccoon. Anybody out there? Evidently, Dean has ever ate raccoon. I have. I've ate it.
Let's see.
It wasn't the greatest, but you know what? If you're hungry enough, Doug, it tastes like goddamn prime rib. If you're hungry enough, you know.
If you're hungry enough.
Well, here, let's get into this real quick because I had this long discussion with somebody the other day. How many of our younger generation can go out there and hunt, skin a raccoon, skin a muskrat, skin a rabbit, skin a deer, you know, and part it out and cook it? Turtle soup's real good. How many can go trap turtles, Doug? Get snapping turtles and make turtle soup out of it? None.
Right.
None.
Right.
There's some kids, I shouldn't say none. There's kids out there, their parents are teaching them to hunt and everything. But listen, we used to get 180 rabbits a year when I hunted. We'd get, deer. I'd shoot deer. Some of us are going to have to get back into that.
Well, now that we got you real hungry, Big D's Pizza. It's coming soon. It's coming soon, they said.
Ohio.
That looks good.
Ohio pretzel.
And I'm assuming you can get it with cinnamon sugar or cheese or whatever.
If you're in Clyde, Ohio, make sure you stop at Big D's Pizza.
And you'll have to get me one of these.
I'll get you one.
Send it
up
to
for
me.
The hangover.
No, send it. Yeah. Depends on the weather.
Dean, I want 2 of them for the hangover. Smoked raccoon. How many people can, how How many people can honestly go out there without these smokers you buy in the stores and that and actually smoke something anymore? Good luck. Good luck. You'd have kids using pine wood. Go ahead.
All right. So anyhow, we'll have Ohio pretzel for not smoked raccoon.
Raccoons. It's like, I'm telling you, it's like take your belt off and bite into it. It ain't much different. Greasy, tough. Bear's good.
I'm for the pretzel. We're just stuck on the pretzel.
All right.
I like the pretzel. Big D's coming soon to a Big D's near you.
Welcome to the Doug and Chris Hunting Show.
Tonight we're going to talk about pretzels.
We might bring Fran in later, Doug.
Right. And she's got a delicious apple pie.
So, our local school district that we've been chirping about, Norwalk. Jeremy Norris won by 7 votes, and they're going to recount the votes.
Which is standard.
Let's see how that recount goes.
But yeah, let's see how the recount goes. But it is standard to recount. I think if it's under so many.
I believe it's like 50 votes or under or something. Or it might be 100. 50, depending on how many vote you're in.
Right. I think it's percentage
of votes.
So go into your schools if you have children and see if you find any signs like that hanging in your classrooms.
You can't. You go in there and contest that. You're a domestic terrorist.
Well, you're going to have to be. You know what? That's a great idea.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Send me a mail. And I'll take that.
What's that?
I'll take meals over all that other stuff. Buy me a pretzel.
Hear that, everybody? I'll send Doug a pretzel for Christmas.
I have 3 pretzels here.
With the way deliveries are going, it might be about March. Start to get his pretzels.
I got this green pretzel.
But
all right, so let's go to Ohio. There are a couple things going on in Ohio. Okay. First of all, this license plate it has to be changed. If you have one of those, when you go to renew, you're going to be told you have to buy a different license plate because they believe that it's expired its time. It came out in 96, I think.
Yeah.
If the police can read it, why do I have to change it?
Because
I'll tell you.
They want the money.
They want the money, right? So they know how much they're going to make already.
Yeah,
well,
we already got it.
100,000 out there. So we'll charge license plates are going to be this much. So we're going to make that much, and I'll be darned. The government's making money. They're not supposed to be in business to make money.
Oh, well, you better tell
Fran, you need to tell Mike. He's going at this backwards.
Little pipsqueak. I'm still laughing. I was catching shit this week about handing him that pamphlet back.
What?
I was still catching shit during the week about handing him that pamphlet back at the Mile and Melon Festival. Remember I told you that story?
Yeah.
So when he was running for governor, my brother and sister-in-law, I don't know, I said it on here or not. We're all standing there watching the parade, and here he comes, this little twerp self walking up. He hands mom and dad and Ted all them pamphlets and hands me one, and I handed it back. So I don't need that. I ain't voting for you. I was an asshole in the family. Why do you got to be rude? Why am I being rude? I ain't voting for the son bitch. But whatever.
All right, let's talk about. Let's see if there's. Yeah, they absolutely do.
And they know exactly. They got it pinpointed.
And that's why this license plate's a goner.
And it'll go up for another $100 if you get vaccinated.
You know,
lottery.
well, we used the rainy day fund.
Did we finally use it?
Well, I'm pretty sure we did, and I think they're trying to recoup some of that money now.
They didn't use it. Check into it.
I think
he was cutting schools during the pandemic. This little bastard just spilled my water all over me because
my gosh,
he was
that little bastard.
He was cutting schools. He was cutting back. Don't you remember this? I was livid. He was cutting back on schools and everything else, the money and everything. And how much was in that rainy day fund? 1.2 billion or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't touch it. Mike, it's fucking raining. It's pouring right now. It ain't just raining, it's pouring. Touch it. And he wouldn't touch it. He cut back on hiring freezes for the state, everything else. He cut everything to a minimum, and he would not touch that rainy day fund. And I guarantee you, if you look it up, if he touched it, he didn't use much of it. And if he did, find out where it went, because we had a lottery and everything else for vaccine people, which I thought was total discrimination. Along with the $100, if you go get vaccine, the state was going to pay you $100. Remember that push, though?
Right. Yep.
What about all those assholes before all this big push back in February, March, April, went and got to some bitch, and and then all of a sudden, where's my fucking money? Where's my $100, Doug?
Right.
Well, better yet, where's my money? And everybody else that pretty much is on this page, where's my money for working through the whole pandemic? Where's my money that I got a fucking letter from the United States Army Corps of Engineers that I could go anywhere I wanted, didn't matter curfew or whatever, to go work, so the goddamn land didn't fall in the water? Where's my money for that, Doug? Okay. Essential meant fuck you, keep working, because the rest of people, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We hand out $600 extra a week. 600. Now, I know a little bit about this. If you're working, you make X amount of money, and you got 2 kids, a wife, and everything, you're getting a little over $500 a week unemployment now, Doug. And even if you're getting $400 a week, let's say your take-home pay is $600 a week, normally if you work 40 hours. Okay? Then they handed them $600 fucking extra dollars. That's $1,100 fucking dollars, $1,000 a week. And assholes like me going to work making a couple hundred more than sitting on my ass. Then they give them $300 a week.
Don't you sit when you work?
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, I sit in a machine. But the point is what about everybody that was considered essential?
I agree.
What about everybody that got the vaccine before that deal come out? What about them? Where's their fucking money? Where's their money? And then he sits there and says, we'll probably get this show axed because we're talking about the fucking vaccine. Then he sits there and says, because of me, 150 million or fucking. He inherited the vaccine. That was in place, ready to distribute before he took office, Doug.
Right.
Before he took office. Right.
Rolling our scroller. Hopefully they'll see it before they yank us.
Probably. Who gives a fuck? They want to take the show down? Might as well. Let's go, Brandon.
Oh man. Now you're taunting.
You know what I'll say? I was talking about Brandon Holcomb, races Sandusky Speedway. Brandon Holcomb's going to be the most popular guy at Sandusky Speedway before this is all over.
Right.
So what? I guess everybody would rather have us say fuck Joe Biden than let's go Brandon. Is that what it is, Doug?
I don't know. You want me to call him and ask him?
Yeah, call him.
May I stuck to Mr. Twitter?
You know what he'll say? You know what Biden will say? They got all these signs out there, but 81 million people voted for me.
Right.
Quit whispering, you fucking creepy motherfucker.
I don't know why they call me Brandon.
I don't understand. My name's Joe Biden. Everybody calls him Brandon nowadays.
All right. I thought we were well out of way beyond this, but I guess we're not. Gonna play this and then we'll talk about it.
God, thank God. We get off haunting.
This is a and this is a police chief in Sheffield Lake.
Oh, this is what's gonna fucking send me off the deep end because you won't tell me what it's about.
No,
I didn't research it. Go ahead.
Okay. So anyhow, he's the guy that I believe as a police chief, you need to be impartial so that you can go someplace and listen to both sides of the story. Okay. And we're gonna hear from the folks at Channel 3. They're coming on to tell us all about it.
Go ahead.
All right,
Go ahead.
I'm going ahead. Here we go. And do you want to be on the screen or not?
No.
All right. Here we go.
Out of Lorain County, longtime Sheffield Lake Police Chief Anthony Campo is off the force and off the job after a racist incident the town's mayor calls disgusting. Mark Namick has the latest.
Sheffield Lake Police Chief Anthony Campo last Friday at the department's copier, printing out a small note. He places it on the raincoat set aside for a black officer just before he enters the room. It reads Ku Klux Klan, the name of the nation's most notorious white supremacy group.
I said, I don't want to even hear about it. I said, you've already admitted to it. And I said, you've got 10 minutes to get out of this office. I said, I want your keys, badge, and that's it. Get out.
Sheffield Mayor Dennis Bring describing his conversation with the chief after learning details of the incident on Tuesday, brought to his attention by the union representing officers.
I asked him if he was psychologically okay yesterday. And he said, absolutely. He made a cone out of a newspaper, and he put it on himself, and he made a comment that you're going to have to wear this for the shift.
Bring met with the officer today to apologize for the chief's actions.
It took us 10 minutes to even talk to each other because we were both very emotional. And I apologized to him, and we talked about the situation. And he told me a little bit more, and I was like, I just flabbergasted. There's no one word to explain how disgusting this is.
Chief for 8 years and with the city for more than 30, Campos described the incident to a local newspaper as, quote, some off-color comments and police station antics.
He knows what he did. He just, playing it off. I don't even think he fathoms how bad this is. And he's going to realize it. So, and shame on him. And you know what? I hope he gets whatever he deserves.
I reached the former chief late this afternoon by phone. He insists that he is retiring and wasn't fired. And he says he has great respect for the officer involved and that he hired him and that this was just some internal office politics and playing around. He says that he doesn't deny what's on that video, but he says it was meant to be a joke, though I know these things are never funny. Russ?
Okay, Mark Namick in Sheffield Lake.
There's no call for that.
Well, what you didn't see in there is a video, and you can look it up. And he's actually sitting beyond that door, and he's got a newspaper that's wrapped up like a
hat.
The hat. And he says you need to wear this during your next stop or something.
There's no call for that whatsoever. Whatever he gets, he deserves.
Absolutely. I thought we were well beyond all this. And obviously in Sheffield Lake.
It's not a joke. Listen, in today's world, even if it was, you don't play them games. You don't play them games. You can't. Construction industry is one of the worst industries for years. Okay. We know in the construction industry, it's a different world. You can't joke about nothing like that anymore.
Right.
The KKK is terrible. Listen, I can't talk about how I feel about Black Lives Matter and some of the shit they do, the rioting that went on and everything else, Antifa, and then sit here. KKK is just as bad. I put them on the same shelf. It isn't just Antifa. KKK goes up on it. The white Aryan nation goes up on that shelf too, Doug. There's no place for it in this world right now. None. It doesn't matter if it's a joke or not. Honestly, he should be charged. He's a police
crime.
chief. A hate crime. It's a hate crime in a city building. In a city building. He should be charged. There's no place for a joke. How'd that guy feel? I don't care if they were best friends, joke around it. How did that guy feel?
Right.
You know, and I know I get sick of hearing about feelings and everything like that, you know, but in a situation like this, Doug, it's different. How did that make that man feel?
Well, you could tell when he looked at it.
He just dropped his head and shook his head.
Defeat, like, I can't believe this. Yeah.
You know, how many other people has he done this to? There's no place for a guy like that, especially in a position like that. That's what gives police bad names. Guys like him is where this shit comes into play of giving that's what I mean. He should be stripped of everything. I mean, you can't take his pension, but let me tell you something. I'd make it goddamn clear that he didn't retire. He was forced out. And if he's not 62, he shouldn't be allowed to draw his pension. He was fired. He should have to wait till he's 62 like the rest of the people. Yes, you're right. It's taxpayer money paying his wages to play stupid games.
Right.
Honest, the city prosecutor, well, it's township, Sheffield Township. Township prosecutor should put charges on the man. There's no room for it. Holy shit. What would that guy, why would he be thinking that this would be okay?
See, you know, the thing about it is it was so local. Well, I mean, it made it to NBC and Cleveland, but can you imagine if that was in Cleveland? If they did that in Cleveland, that would be all over the U.S. right now.
It should be all over the United States now.
You're right. Yep, the guy is lucky.
And you know what? The reporter should say, you want to know why police get bad names? You know, every industry has bad apples. Fire departments, the whole 9 yards. But them bad apples bring it down on the good ones. And it's guys like this that are a piece of shit that would do something like this. It brings it down on a whole department. I mean, if I was that dude, let me tell you what. I wouldn't, if I was that black guy, I wouldn't give comment to nobody. You talk to my lawyer.
Right.
Talk to my lawyer. And God bless him. I hope he sues him for a couple million, Doug. You know, I mean, I'm not into that sue happy bullshit, but there's some cases where you need to make a point. And this guy, in my opinion, has every point to be made. You know. Yeah. Yes, I do. Tammy, I do remember that. The whole area here in Berlin Heights, Milan, it was bad, you know, 40 years ago. 40.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I thought we were well beyond all this.
Listen. Like I say, I don't agree with what Antifa did with the rioting, Doug. In every city there was. And in my mind, it was domestic terrorism. That's domestic terrorism. But the KKK did the same shit years ago and got away with it. If they did it now, I'd be the first one to come on here or anywhere else and say, arrest them bastards for domestic terrorism. You can't do that in today's world. You know, it doesn't matter. Listen, I don't care if you're black, white, purple, brown. I don't care if you're rainbow colored. If you're a good person, you're a good person. You know, if you're a good person, that's all I give a shit about, Doug. I don't care. You know.
So then you'll then you'll have an opinion here too. So LeBron James,
fuck him.
So he's the first to jump anytime there's an issue involving a black person and there's some sort of crime, and he's first one to tell oh, because he's black, he's this, that, da, 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 da. Rittenhouse, are you following that story?
Not all of it, no.
But you know what's going on there. He allegedly shot these people. He breaks down on the stand. I mean,
cries.
Really bad. And LeBron's, instead of saying, "Oh, this guy, he ate a bunch of lemon heads before he went in there."
Yeah. Listen, you want to? We put. He's a piece of shit. First off, not because he left Cleveland. Right? He's a piece of shit.
No,
he showed his true colors.
Yeah,
when a Columbus police officer shot that girl that had the knife in her hand, and was his comments, "You can't even stab nobody without the police interfering." Remember that?
Right.
Yeah, that. But here's the problem. He's got a platform.
Yes.
Because of LeBron James.
Right.
He's got a platform. He's not a fucking hero. He dribbles a basketball. Just like today, a bunch of guys threw a ball around a football field. They're not fucking heroes. They're not heroes at all. They get paid millions of dollars to do that. You want fucking heroes? Go to the 13 fallen soldiers a few months ago. Go to how many come home missing legs, post-traumatic stress. Go to the people for 20 years served in Afghanistan, seeing the atrocities. Go to the Vietnam veterans. Go to the people that have served this country. Even in peacetime, we still didn't have peace all over, Doug. There was troops going over we didn't even know about doing shit. Our military people and our veterans are the heroes. You want an opinion? Go talk to them. They fought for the fucking right of freedom here in this country. LeBron, a fucking SEAL can put a ball through a fucking hoop.
You're right.
A trained fucking SEAL can throw a ball through a hoop. What's so special about LeBron James? He should shut the fuck up, eat a bowl of Wheaties, and play basketball. It wasn't my wife on TV at a football game at the Browns that was smoking a joint. Remember that?
Yeah.
What about that, Doug?
Yeah.
Whatever. LeBron James is a fucking joke. It doesn't matter. This is the thing. And then you got a cop doing this. Then you got a cop doing this. A police chief doing this. And then they wonder. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't.
Right.
That same police chief would be the first one if he didn't get caught and it didn't come to light, would be crying about this whole situation with Rittenhouse. Oh, I can't believe you guys are saying discrimination, but yet you're putting shit on a fucking guy's coat like that, belittling them.
Right.
And you know what's bad about that? I don't know anything about them people up there, but I guarantee you that black officer is probably one of the better officers they got in that force.
No doubt. I 100% agree.
And it always happens to guys like that. You ever notice that?
Right.
The guys that stand for what's right are the ones that get fucking shit on.
Right.
And I'm telling you, people out there better start preaching a word about what's right and what's wrong. Exactly what Doug said months ago when I said it'll never fucking happen. Everybody's sitting there going, "Oh, what can we do?"
Yeah.
Half the people don't even know what the fuck is going on in this country. They couldn't tell you they knew a bill passed to keep the government going. They couldn't tell you what was in that bill.
Right.
They couldn't tell you what. They couldn't tell you. My brother didn't know that $30 million in the first stimulus bill went to Smithsonian. Over $20 million in the second one went to Smithsonian to keep everybody employed. Remember that, Doug?
Yes.
And after they got the second check, 4 weeks later, they laid off half the staff. Half the staff. Tim Jordan knew about it, was pissed off, bitching, but he got shut up about it. You know, nobody knows. Oh, we're getting a $1,200 check. Oh, isn't this great? Yeah.
Right. And just sit back and everything's all right.
I hope Walmart don't sell out of them 75-inch screens.
Oh my gosh.
And then how many people got a check out of the blue? Deposit it in your bank account.
Right.
And get a phone call from your wife like me. Is there a reason why $1,100 was deposited in our account from the IRS? I hear IRS. First thing I do is cringe. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
What? Well, yeah, because the tax laws, they did some different stuff. So how many people got a check and never even? So they did tax laws. We overpaid. A lot of people in this country overpaid or whatever the law switched at the time, and they got checks and they didn't even check into it. Oh, I got another check. When you're getting a check from fucking government, you ought to check into it. Am I wrong, Doug?
Right, because when there's always strings to it.
What are we still doing, Tammy? I tell you what we're still doing. We're going, this fucked up. This fucked up. You know what? They shouldn't kneel at them football games I'm not watching. But I guarantee you, 95% of the people that said they'd never watch a game till they all stood watched the fucking games today.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, I will tell you, I did watch a little bit of the Green Bay Packers because I stand with Aaron Rodgers. Listen, they're putting Aaron Rodgers through some shit. The federal government's going after him now, Doug. I read some shit today.
Really?
Fauci and all them guys are, here's what I don't understand. Well, our scientists say this, he's wrong, and da-da-da, and he's misinformation. The misinformation. What about his scientists and his doctors?
Right.
So we're coming to a world that if you're not with the administration part of what they say, the scientists and the other scientists disagree, they're wrong and they're spreading misinformation. Dr. Pintenny out of Middleburg Heights, good example. That she's one of the ones 13 that Facebook went after because she had scientific fact, especially about the mask. She was a dermatologist in that, Doug, about the mask. That if you remember, we played that. If you have that mask on for more than 3 hours, it reverse effect and it starts doing damage to you if you don't switch it. She spread misinformation. What about the people that do the test with the cigarette? Fran, Mike DeWine. Fran's making these great masks and that you put it on, you blow cigarette smoke right out it. What? Well, it prevents what? The fucking COVID-19 molecule is so small, the N95 mask doesn't stop all of it. What am I stopping?
Let me see if this...
We've become a bunch of fucking sheep. I watched a movie today, American Sniper. Stop and hear this out, Doug, real quick, and then American Sniper. And there's a part of the movie when he's a kid, and they're sitting at the table, and his little brother got his ass whooped at school, and he jumped in and beat the shit out of that kid. And his dad makes a comment. And this is going to stick with me for a very long time because I never looked at it like this. He goes, son, you got sheep, you got wolves, then you got the guard dogs that protect the sheep from the wolves. Which one do you want to be? He goes, I don't want you to be sheep, and I don't want you to be a wolf, but I want you to be that guard dog protecting the people from the wolves. And what a fucking true statement. What are we? Sit and look at yourself in the mirror when you get off this show. What are you? Are you a fucking sheep? You a wolf? I want to be the guard dog, Doug.
Well, I think I can answer your question about all this masking and stuff and the whole government. And there's a word that she uses, several times, and that's what this is all about. Are you ready?
Yep.
Get ready.
That's all.
On the OSHA rule, what is the threshold in order for a private business to be fined? I'm still unclear on that. How many violations can a business kind of, how many times can they violate this rule in order for them to actually be fined? And then secondly, has the White House been reaching out as well, haven't known the past couple of days today, to governors as well, either encouraging them to implement their own mandates or on implementation of this mandate, and then just one on immigration after that?
Gotcha. So the goal here is compliance, and the administration and OSHA are going to do everything we can to maximize compliance. So that's going to be our focus. The vast majority of employers, as they do every day with other workplace safety requirements, will voluntarily comply without ever being inspected. However, if needed, OSHA can assess fines of $13,600 per violation. OSHA can fine an additional $13,600 per day that an employer does not abate the violation. And for willful or serious violation, OSHA can fine employers $136,000. So that's how the penalty is going to work here. So the goal here is compliance.
Whoa. Hey.
Now, before we get started,
You missed it because you weren't looking at the screen. Every time she said the word compliance, they put it up there. And it was like 3 or 4 times during her thing that we're going to comply.
Let me tell you, I've had dealings with OSHA. I've had plenty of dealings with MSHA, Mining Safety and Health Administration. They're self-supported. If anybody out there doesn't understand that, OSHA, the Occupation Safety and Health Administration, along with MSHA, they're self-funded. They work off 90% of their money comes from fines. Their budget is from fine money. You think OSHA is going to give them a break? Nope. They're not going to. You're going to be compliant, just like everything else. We're going to be compliant little bitches. Now, here's the fact. OSHA is part of the government. They're the wolves. You're going to be the sheep or the fucking guard dog, Doug? Which one? MSHA just fined us, and for some reason, we ain't received that fine yet, unless it come in this week. Rich is on vacation, but I'm guaranteeing you it's going to be 10 to 12 grand. And then we'll litigate it and stuff. And what people don't understand is you take little Jim Bob's Excavating, let's say he's got 120 employees. It's not little, but let's just say they're going to come down on him. I'm telling you, they're going to come down on his ass hard. You take a corporation like Hansen that's throughout the whole world that owns the quarries, and every Heidelberg Group is actually who owns Hansen. Take a company like Heidelberg Group, they're not going to come down on MSR. I'm telling you. I've seen this game. And it's a chicken shit way for the vaccine mandate. Now, what the problem is there's been a federal court put a stay on that right now. It's got to be heard in court. Federal appeals court. Remember we went over that? It happened last Saturday. What you have is a bunch of businesses that are scared to death of a $13,600 fine because there'll be no litigation to it. That'll be the fine. OSHA's wrote what they did. If I'm on the other side of it, smartest move ever. Because what they did was they put it all into Department of Labor and OSHA's hands. Well, you ain't sitting there thinking that OSHA ain't thinking that the head of OSHA, you know how much money that we can build up on our budget and hire more inspectors, and they're going to go hog wild with this. You're going to see communism at its best. They're going to show up we're not going to, basically we're not going to go and check everything. And you know how she said that was basically saying, well, they're full of shit. All it takes one left-wing fucking nut working in your company to make one phone call and you're done. You're done. You're done. Yeah, they do. They don't want small business. You're done. OSHA will come in there, and I guarantee you, if they say you're out of compliance, it's a big word, compliance. It has several definitions, trust me. In the work industry, it has one definition. You better get your shit straight and be in compliance with them rules or else. Right. And anybody that's dealt with OSHA knows this. If you're not in compliance, you will get that fine tomorrow and the next day and the next day. So you're going to have to make a decision as a business owner. You're either going to have to test every single one of them people in front of OSHA or show every single, because once they're there, just like MSHA, they don't take your word for it, Doug. If you're out of compliance and you've broken one of the rules, it has to be fixed while they're there. And you have to sign off. They have to sign off on that. So it ain't like if they say, we'll be back in 4 days and you call them tomorrow, I'm in compliance. We'll see you. You're getting them fines.
Right.
You're getting them fines. I know this for a fact, especially with MSHA. I got over 40 inspections, and this is just something totally different what we're talking, but it's in the same, Doug. 40 inspections or more, probably more than that, 60. I don't know how many times. The same guys inspected me over 30 times throughout a 9-10 year period. Never one time, never once addressed a situation. I thought we were okay. The Corey thought we were okay. Everybody thought we were okay. Never has been addressed once. He comes in, had nothing on me. I was clean. My paperwork, the whole 9 yards. As he's going to turn to walk back to the truck because my inspection's done, he looks over his shoulder, makes a turn, walks towards the high wall, short 18-foot high wall, and writes me up on something that's in violation. And my thing was, that's never been a topic of discussion because it's a short high. Doesn't matter. That's what I'm checking today. And you know what? You put people in imminent danger. And the minute they start using imminent danger, what they're going to use on this vaccine, the fines double, triple, because then it becomes what a serious, infraction, S&S. And they don't only get you. Like when this vaccine, trust me when I tell you guys this is how fucked up our government is. They're going to say, well, you broke, everybody ain't vaccinated or you're not testing. They're going to nail you for that for $13,600. And then they're going to come back and say, well, where's your paperwork documenting all this? It's right. Your paperwork's out of place. Boom. There's another $13,600. Trust me when I tell you, if you get nailed for one, you're going to get it on the paperwork and you're going to get the same fine. You're going to end up walking out of there with about $27,000, $28,000 in fines. And the litigation will happen on the first one, the paperwork, if you make the paperwork right, but you're still going to get $13,000 every day. They're going to bankrupt company after company until those guard dogs make a stand, Doug. And you know what? Right. I'm very, very unconfident that will happen. Very unconfident it will happen now. I thought for sure that Americans would stand up.
Well, the thing is, like on the mask mandate, who did it is called the Daily Wire, and all they are is an email. They email stuff that's going on in the government. That's all they do. And they said they sent an email because I'm on that. So we are going to file a lawsuit with the 5th District Court of Appeals, blah, 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 blah. And they did it. But nobody out here did it.
No. But Doug, here's the thing. Here's the sneaky part about this. And like I said, I'm not going to lie to you people out there. On the other side of this, it was fucking genius how they did this, because they knew there would be fight against it. It didn't become a federal law. It didn't like Biden push this through under federal law and that. What he did was they went down, and it wasn't Biden. He ain't smart enough to do this, okay? What they did is they went down to the Department of Labor. Department of Labor made that. Yeah, you're right. But Department of Labor made this, put it into OSHA. Therefore, it's not a mandate.
Right.
Okay. It doesn't affect you working. It doesn't affect you outside your home, walking around. It doesn't affect you a bit going somewhere. What it affects is workplace safety. Now, where they come up with this 100 or more is where I'm a little confused at. Where'd they come up with that number?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? What if you got 99 people and down, you're not going to get it. It's not going to spread.
Right.
You know, it's just like walking into Walmart during the middle of the pandemic, 6 foot apart, but yet front and back you were 6 foot, but side to side you were about 3.5 foot. Remember when I said that to that state health person down there in Columbus? So you taught me that the virus only jumps front and back, doesn't jump side to side. It's just like Dr. Fauci and them on the schools. Remember, they come out and they said, well, if you're 3 feet, you're okay.
Mm-hmm.
They don't fucking know. Where did they come up with this number? Where they come up with this number is, and to get to what Tammy and them were saying, both Tammys, where they come up with this number is they know 99 or less, they're not going to get them fines, Doug. They're going to shut the fucking doors, file bankruptcy, whatever, and they're not going to get paid. They're not going to get paid. Someone with 50 people can't afford the fines of what they're about to do. So 100 or more, they know that corporation is going to stay in business. They're going to pay them fines. It's a fucking joke. Just like the MSHA fines. We got nailed in 2009 in Wagner Quarry. We had a loader, didn't have a seatbelt. I probably told this to you many times. They looked it up. The fine was, according to how big your company was, our fine come out to be $75,000 for that infraction. And to me, it was $5,000 personally to me because I was superintendent. Now, if we were 100 or more, it might have been 125,000. If it was Hanson, it might have been, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But how do you have a set fine? And this is the thing. How do you have set fines? You guys research all this shit. How do you have set fines depending on the size of your company?
Right.
I don't doubt that.
I don't know. Luckily, the courts put a hold on it.
Yeah, but the companies are still in fear of it.
I know, but it's on hold right now.
I know, but you still got companies saying, fuck it, we know what's coming. Firelands Hospital, Fisher Titus Hospital. They were this past week, all jumped on board with this. The only one that I haven't seen is Cleveland Clinic hasn't jumped on board. It's not right. It's not right. And I got into this discussion with someone on a Facebook post. They started at, you're killing everybody. How am I fucking killing everybody? I know many people that got the goddamn virus. You people are you educated? Are you fucking educated? Because they tell you, because you have the vaccine doesn't mean you can't catch or transmit the virus. It lessens the symptoms. That's all it fucking does. It lessens this. So you tell me, if 150 fucking million Americans are vaccinated right now, why are our numbers jumping, Doug? Because of the non-vaccinated? Bullshit. If there's 150, 200 million people vaccinated in this country, the numbers wouldn't be fluxing like that.
Right.
And honestly, if I got the vaccine and you don't, what do I give a fuck? We're still going to catch it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's a misconception. You want to know why I think the numbers fluxing up and down? Because people go get the vaccine and they feel like they're fucking Superman now. They get stupid. They don't do the, cleanse their hands, sanitize.
Right.
They don't do the stupid shit because I'm vaccinated. Oh, you're a vaccine fucking idiot too. You know what I'm saying? You ain't educated. That's the problem. That's the problem. We're so uneducated as a country. We think we're the smartest motherfucking individuals on earth that ever walked earth. We're smart. We're the stupidest motherfuckers that ever walked the face of the earth because we believe what they're saying. We don't research. You don't educate yourself on the shit. How can a dumb fucking hillbilly like me, barely graduated high school, work construction and been in racing his whole life, no, and got people asking me questions? You really want advice from me? Am I wrong, Doug?
Run for office.
Run for office? Yeah. You see what they put you through. They told Joe Blystone you didn't even vote the last election. He had to go prove that he did. Oh wow. They must have flipped. I didn't tell you that? You didn't even vote in the last election. I did vote. Me, my wife, and my son all went together. Oh, yeah, here it is. I guess you did. Well, we must have flipped 2 pages at a time on yours. That's how fucking dirty they are. But yet we sit there as an American public, and unfortunately Doug was right. I hate to fucking admit it and go, yeah, what am I going to do? Hey, how's the Browns doing today?
Right.
You take for granted getting into your car, pulling out, going to the store, going to work, it's going to fucking stop if we don't do something. It'll stop. You'll be right. You'll have a fucking bracelet around your ankle if you're not vaccinated. And if you go 5 miles past your house, it's going to go beep, beep, beep. And here comes the vaccine police. Well, here's the thing, Joe. They switched that. Doesn't matter if you're vaccinated or unvaccinated. It's a 10-day layup period now. And it isn't from the time you test. It's from the time you start showing symptoms. I know this to be fact. If I go to the doctor Wednesday, and let's say I get off here tonight and I start getting a headache and I start getting the bad cough or lose taste tomorrow morning, and I go to the doctor Wednesday and I test positive Wednesday. It's not 10 days. First thing I ask is, when did you start showing? Well, they don't have to. This is state mandate, Joe. First thing they say to you is, when did you start showing symptoms? I started showing symptoms on Monday. Okay, 10 days from Monday. And now a lot of them aren't even requiring you to get a negative test. The health departments, after 10 days, you're good. They're not even requiring a negative test. Now, some employers still are, Joe. And that's something you have to take up with your company, because the state mandates have changed down to 14 days. They don't fucking know, Doug.
Right.
You gotta almost look at this shit weekly to keep up with everything going on.
Right, because it does change.
And we found that out fighting way back in March of 2020. We found that out fighting for the racetrack to open. That shit changed not even week to week. Sometimes shit changed every 2 days. And if you didn't keep up on it, and it's
Right.
no different now. The only difference now is we're allowed to go to restaurants. We're allowed to go, so you don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Not being an asshole, but people don't care. Are the numbers going up? Yeah, they're going up. Anybody expect them not to? Holidays coming.
Right.
They already started talking about family gatherings. Divide and conquer. We're not only divide and conquer on vaccinated, unvaccinated, COVID-19 bullshit. You know, you got the government coming down on companies. Now we got, you know, the race wars starting back up, division of that. Divide and conquer.
Don't forget the Bilderberg group.
The Bilderberg group's right there pulling the strings. And their next meeting, they're all going to sit there drinking champagne. Look at all these motherfucking dumb bastards. And nobody's doing their research. You know, common sense will tell you, fucking take all your shit, a bunch of ammo and everything, go up on the highest mountaintop where nobody goes, fucking go in the cabin and come out in 4 years from now. And, you know, come out in October of 22 or 24 and come out long enough to go vote, go hide in the fucking mountain again and wait and see what
January, come out and see what happened.
Yeah, January 20th, come out, see what the fuck's going on. You know, like a groundhog sticking his head out every spring.
Right.
Did the right people win? You know.
That's very true.
You know, and it's here's the sad part of this. I don't think you're a very educated individual if you vote left side right now. Okay. I was very angry and thought you were just a fucking idiot and everything else. But, you know, the more I talk to people, Doug, we've just been talking about this last week. Here's what I think. I don't look down on people that voted for Biden. I kind of feel sorry for them because the simple fact is, I don't think these people educated themselves. I don't think they voted against Trump. They didn't vote for Biden.
Right. And you could see that in the poll numbers now. They're like, what
the fuck did I vote for? You know, but my problem is this. Is you still got people out there, and unfortunately, like my brother, sorry, Ted, you know, but you got someone like Ted that makes a comment, I got enough stress in my life. I don't want to hear that because it'll stress me out more. Well, you need to hear that. You need to get it stressed out a little more.
It affects you.
Because it's going to affect you bad. And that's where we're at. And the more I talk to someone, well, I didn't know. Remember the woman last week? I didn't know they were pushing the bill.
Yeah, like when you get a letter from the IRS saying you sold a four-wheeler for $650 and we don't see the taxes that you paid on that.
Yeah, or you get a 1099 from Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace. Right. You know, because once you put that up there, they have to track whether you sold it and how much you sold it for. It's just like your bank account, you know, with all these bills going in, 600 or more, in or out, has to be reported to the IRS. The bill they're getting ready to push through and pass, the second part of this infrastructure with that, hires. It doubles, if not triples, IRS agents. All right, be good, Tammy. So, yeah, we've been on, I didn't realize, almost 2 hours. We got to get going.
Yeah, I've been sitting here looking at Big D's pizza, and it's making me hungry.
Oh, look at that. Look at it. There's the food you get at Big D's.
I like that.
Now, let's put up a disclaimer here. Big D's does not sponsor our show or endorse our show. He's a watcher.
we endorse him now.
We endorse him. I don't know if that's good or bad, but we do. So all right, Doug, you got anything?
I think we've done enough damage for tonight. See if we can make it through another week.
See if we don't get kicked off. All I can say is, everybody, it's very, very important that you educate yourself and research. If you're not sure about something, research it. There's plenty of places you can find out what. It's very important. Instead of arguing, try to educate somebody and tell somebody that you know doesn't agree with you. Well, are you aware of this? Changes. Are you aware that this bill had this? Are you aware that this had this? And when they start saying, "What do you mean? No?" Well, that's what they're doing.
Right.
That's why I'm upset. And you'll vote. Push people to register to vote. I mean, I found something out the other day I didn't know. I can go into, in the spring for the voting in the spring. I can go in there, and just because I'm Democrat, I can ask for a Republican ballot. I did not know that, Doug. So, but I will be changing that within the next 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
And honestly, people, I might go independent. I won't go independent until after spring, the DeWine vote. But after that, I'll probably go independent. Because let me tell you something, there's just many bad Republicans. There's just as many bad Republicans as there is Democrats.
You're right.
They were all wolves in sheep clothing. So other than that, I got nothing.
All right.
Greg Miller, have a safe trip going down.
Yeah. Hold on to your scruples.
Yeah. All right, people. God bless y'all and God bless America.
See ya.